Hello, beautiful army of light, boots on the ground, soul family. It's Shawna L. Francis, and today is August 24th, 2022. I know it has been so long since I've checked in. Thanks everybody for your patience and being here and showing up for this video. I don't expect to be channeling in this video, but of course I've asked my team to be here with me to help give you these updates. To keep me honest and keep the information accurate. I have a lot to share with you that's been going on the last few months. So you might want to grab some decaf coffee or something and kick back, take some nice deep breaths, and I'm excited to catch everybody up on what's been going on in my world. There's been a lot happening. So I put up an update here probably, what has this been, about a month ago, and I talked about working with the Melchizedek, and I had also mentioned that my father had passed away. Thank you everybody so much for all your well wishes, all your love, support, and prayers and sweetness, pure sweetness that all of you offered up with the passing of my dad. I appreciate it so much. So that was June 2nd that my dad passed. And I think I'd mentioned in my last quick video that things, that I had a feeling that things would be changing very quickly. And I'd gone back and listened to some of my conversations with my collective team from back then. And they did literally say the day before my dad died that once he passes, things will be changing very quickly. It will be switching gears. And that's exactly what's happened here. So I know it's been, 3 months or so, 3.5 months since we came through with the Galactic Federation of Light message. So, you know, things have changed. So I want to catch you up on several major things here that's going on. And I've asked for permission to share these things with you, and I've been given the green light. So I want to give some background and kind of bring you kind of along this journey with me since early June when this all happened. All right. So as I mentioned, June 1st, the team came in and said, and I hadn't talked to them in probably a week or two. So this was a really nice surprise. My energy kind of flares up, and I hear them wanting to come in and speak with me. So I get quiet, or they come in during meditation or something like that. So this happened. And they said that there are just massive, frequencies coming onto the planet. This is the new normal. It's really exciting that we've gotten to this point where we can support those frequencies. And they're just saying full steam ahead here. That we are at the forefront of this. We are here on the front lines, taking this energy in, dispersing it, right, on a collective level. They reiterated on June 1st that I have signed up for a big job. And for those of you who've read my book, I talk a lot about this. Long before I was channeling the Galactic Federation of Light, I was working with Archangel Metatron very closely, as well as a group called the Galactic Council. And they had said that I have taken on a really big job. And it's a big responsibility. So I've known this for a long time. And to be quite honest, I still don't know exactly what this big job is. The Galactic Federation of Light, the helping with the awakening, reaching out to those of you who are part of the GFL, who are sharing this frequency. Again, as I've mentioned many times, if you're watching this video, if you're drawn to this frequency, if you're resonating with the GFL, you're likely a part of the GFL, you're a starseed, you're a light worker, you're here to help with the ascension. And that is still true today, okay? So I've signed up for something big, pre-life agreement, and my team has told me several times that it's taking me several lifetimes to get to this point where I'm ready for this moment. So things seem to be kind of switching gears here. All right. So they said things will change for me quite rapidly with the passing of my dad, that we are in the golden age of humanity, the golden age of humanity. And there's just all kinds of jubilation and joy and excitement coming from the collective team about this. They talk about being surprised and delighted with what's coming. Do not be fearful of anything. Don't let anybody derail my energy field, our energy field here, and take joy as this world kind of uncovers itself for us. So really be in the moment, being in joy, being delighted, kind of, and at peace with everything that's going on. So even though it's all chaotic and crazy, kind of out there, internally here, we've got it together, right? We are feeling that internal peace. We understand what it means to be a light worker, a way shower, a beacon. All right. So these are the kinds of things that we're doing here. These are the roles that we're playing as a soul tribe, as a team, as a collective team. All right. So that was June. My dad passed away. That was June 1st. My dad passed away June 2nd. So June 13th comes along, and I've mentioned this in my last video. I was listening to Melchizedek on Audible, and the recording stops all of a sudden, and Melchizedek comes through and says, "Hey, we want to work with you on a daily basis. Let's start tomorrow." Okay, fantastic. And I've worked with Melchizedek before, and I've actually channeled them on this YouTube channel. It's been a while, but I have worked with them in the past. I've been a student of the guides through Paul Selig's work. He's channeled 8 or 9 books from these guys. I've read or listened to all of them. I highly recommend you do the same if you haven't already. All right. Since June 13th, that first date that I had a channeling with Melchizedek, I've had 41 channelings with them. So there is a big body of content with myself and Melchizedek. These are private channelings that I'm doing. These are conversations that I'm having with Melchizedek. So I'll try to be succinct here in terms of what's been imparted and what's important to you, and also a little bit about my process and what I'm going through. Again, I'm helping represent the collective. I'm helping impact the collective. And I know that a few of you at least are sensitive to what I have going on and are very interested in what I've got going on. So, maybe you can relate to some of these things. All right. So middle of June, one of the first things they said, which was so funny, is they said, because I'm excited about working with them at this level. They said, just relax and please don't try to be impressing us with your channeling abilities. I'm like, okay, I won't be impressing you with my channeling. So I'm letting go of expectations. They said they're going to work with me very differently from how they've worked with Paul Selig in the past. And that I just need to let go of all expectations for how this might look, feel, what might come through. These guys are incredible. They've been around a long time. They are what I would consider to be kind of like the black ops here. They come in with special projects, and they really work hard. And, this ascension here for Earth is one of these things. They told me that I'll be doing shadow work. And that a lot of our time together is going to be uncomfortable, that I'm going to be re-knowing myself even at a deeper level. I feel like I've been working on myself ever since my awakening here 4 years ago, but this path just continues to go and go and go. Maybe this will never stop, which is great. Some of the things, we've been working through, like family issues, the sadness around my dad's passing. Also, they're imparting to me the importance that I stay focused on this mission. With my dad's passing, the construction I've got going on in Mexico, various other things, I have a tendency to get distracted, and I kind of get off track. Less time for meditation, more distraction, overeating, not exercising as much as I should. So they said the biggest danger that I have on my mission is apathy. apathy toward my mission. It's like these guys need a sledgehammer or something to wake me up to this. So quite honestly, the last couple of months, it's been a lot of this, like, Shawna, let's work together on a daily basis. Let's, make this thing happen. And I'll talk a little bit more about this a little later. Another thing they talked about early on in our relationship here, in this new relationship, is that I'm a gear in a larger machine. I'm just one gear with spokes, one of many gears that are all finely tuned and working together. So it's so important that I am letting go of control. I'm not forcing anything in my world. I'm taking everything in stride. I'm staying in the moment. A cog in a bigger machine. I'm just a cog here. I'm a chess piece on a chessboard. They're like, you don't know the strategy of what's going on with the chess pieces here, with the chess game. So just do your part and you'll be great, and allow us to hold your hands, flank you on all sides. We'll lead you, even if it's feeling like you're being led and I'm blind, we'll lead you through this. Just relax and allow. And I, talk about reknowing myself. So, really just surrendering to this process, and lots of crying, lots of questioning, lots of, really letting go of kind of these last egoic centered, fear-based things that I'm hanging on to, a judgment of others, family stuff, knowing my dad in a different way. Side note here on my dad, since his passing, I've talked with him 4 times. Each time's been so sweet. And I'll save that for another video, but just incredible. And I know a few of you said, well, you're just going to recreate this relationship with your dad. And it's definitely happening. He's helping me from the other side here, and he's giving me some advice, and he is, supporting me, cheering me on. So it's been so sweet and so wonderful. All right. So fast forward. So I worked with them for about 4 weeks. So middle of July 12th, they had said, okay, Shawna, you've made it. You've followed this pathway. We've done our work with you. We're feeling really good about where you're at. And now you've reached a new spot. They said X marks the spot on the map, on the treasure map. I've reached the X on this map. I've hit the treasure. So I'm kind of like, it took me about 4 weeks to get where they wanted me to go. That's what happened. So really, really exciting. They said it was like a mom seeing their toddler walk for the first time. So that's kind of how they imparted that to me. So it was so fun. I love that. All right. So that was July 12th. Now on July 15th, Melchizedek said, okay, Shawna, as part of, where you're at now, we want you have been granted access to the Halls of Amenti. I never heard the word Amenti before. I didn't know what this really meant. I've had to look it up. The Halls of Amenti. There's a very cool resource online called ascensionglossary.com. And this is where I've looked up the Halls of Amenti. And what they've said this is a time portal passage that holds our race blueprints that would eventually help us unlock our crystalline 12D existence here, kind of get back to that. They talked about holographic books at the Halls of Amenti. My team said, we're going to do one step at a time here, but they want me in the Halls of Amenti every day if I can do it. But to not rush ahead, to allow this stuff to unfold for me. Enjoy the process and quit trying to sprint, because I guess they kind of recognize that I'll get excited about the Halls of Amenti and I'm going to want more and more and more, and I'm going to want to rush ahead through this process. So they said, don't do that. And they also said, get lots of sleep. I have a few pages here, guys. We're in it for the long haul today. There's so much to update you on. So exciting. All right, the Halls of Amenti. Melchizedek said that this is going to help me understand myself on deeper levels, and why I do the things I do, why my soul has chosen this path. what has influenced me to make the decisions that I make, that I've made in the past. So this has been pretty darn incredible. They said that being granted access to this is a big deal, and to approach it with absolute reverence and absolute respect. They had said like this, think of it as like a hall of mirrors where it's reflecting back to you who you truly are. So I've done the Akashic records before, Akashic records. This feels different to me than that. And it's been a few years since I've been into the Akashic records. And I was actually, not doing so great getting into the halls as much as I should. At the beginning, I was in quite a bit, and I had tried even doing it on psilocybin, on mushrooms, to see what that would do. Actually, that was helpful, I think, to get into the halls and to really, it was a good experience for me to do that. So I tried that a couple of times. I've been in the halls probably, I'm going to say 7 or 8 times. They've asked me to start doing this daily again because I got out of it, and I'm coming back into it. Mainly what happened is like there was no big hall, there were no books, but I started just seeing these other lifetimes that I've had and how I died. So it's a lot of like this kind of sad death stuff that was coming up immediately. Things are morphing a little bit. And I'm going to allow that to kind of morph some more, I think, before I talk too much in depth about that. But these first couple of visits to the halls, they showed me like lifetimes where I had died and I'd felt like a failure. So in this lifetime for me, and Kryon talks about this, like my karmic imprint in this lifetime, one of the big challenges that I'm working through is my fear of failure. So that's a big motivator for me. It helps shape who and what I am, the decisions I make, how I view the world, and I can see this now since my awakening in this role that this has played, but they'd showed me some lifetimes where this is where kind of that had stemmed from, like feeling like a failure. Also a lot of throat stuff, like strangling other people and being strangled and being beheaded. Some really graphic stuff around that. So those were kind of my first, and I've got some throat chakra issues that I've worked through. I'm working through them. Being able to speak here on YouTube and talk about all these things, it's a big sign that my throat chakra is doing much, much better than it was. Thank God. So I've worked really hard on this, speaking my truth, allowing my heart to come forward. All right, so the Halls of Amenti. Fun stuff, you guys. And also they're imploring me to make time for exercise every day, meditation, nutrition. And those of you who have been following me for a while, been with me for a while, know that nutrition, exercise, this has been a huge theme for my journey here since my awakening. And I'm not great at it. I'm really not great at it. Late last year, they had asked me to lose 20 pounds, or about a year ago. It was like August of last year, lose 20 pounds. I think I lost 7 or 8, and I've since gained them back, plus a couple, especially with my dad being sick and going through all that. So, and Siri had come through and talked about nutrition. I'd started my Facebook group basically around being vegan and eating nutritiously and eating high vibe and being high vibe. So this is still a huge theme. So for those of you on this path, remember this. This is, keeping the vessel clear of debris, keeping the energy flowing. I mean, everything is energy. Everything you put into your mouth and you swallow is bringing an energy to your field. The digestion, the elimination, all of this, it's really important to our vibrational frequency. So Melchizedek really just hammering that home. Another thing that they talked a lot about in the last couple of months is me sharing a consciousness with them. So, these guys and my collective team are with me all the time. I mean, every thought I have, everything I'm doing, they're here. and to just be really okay with that. I'm much better with it than I used to be. And I'm honored, you know, I'm thrilled and I'm honored. And I guess this is what it's going to take to kind of make sure that I'm on track and I'm not derailing myself, that I'm letting go of control, and I'm really allowing these guys to lead my life. I mean, in absolute real ways. All right, so I want to shift gears a little bit. Melchizedek had talked about being prepared for the dark times that are coming. The dark times that are coming. So that was kind of earlier, I'd say within the first couple of weeks that I was working with them. They've also talked about that there are people, you know, a lot of us, I believe in this collective here, you know, this community that we have through this YouTube channel, through the GFL frequency, we have lights that cannot be extinguished. So we are playing a really important role on the planet during these dark times where our light's still going to shine. So we've talked Melchizedek, just like the GFL, talking a lot about love, about the frequency of love, how to radiate out love. They said that in terms of love, you know, love and light radiate out indiscriminately to everyone equally, regardless of outward appearances. So this was really interesting. So, you know, you could walk down the street and see a person experiencing homelessness and think, well, they really need some light. Whereas the man who walks by in a suit and looking, you know, like he's well put together, you might think, well, they don't need the light, you know. But so there's this little lesson here that day about the light is going to shine on everybody absolutely equally. And that's how we need to also view our light. It's indiscriminate. It is all encompassing. It's going to shine everywhere, no matter what. And to be in non-judgment and not be, you know, trying to control, I guess, how much light we're giving to some people and not to others, or whatever that looks like. So it's available to all in equal measure. These are the gifts that we're bringing as light workers, guys. How amazing is this? Our light cannot be extinguished. All right. We are the beacons here. We are the torches. We are going to help keep this thing afloat as we move toward our ascension here. All right. Okay. So the team had said, you know, this is early August. I'm really ready to shift. It's time to lead and teach by example, So I don't know, you know, I've not been, they haven't wanted to make public videos. I've been just doing all this behind the scenes. Again, whatever this big job that I have coming up, this big crux of my mission here, I don't know if that's going to be behind the scenes or in the spotlight. I really have no idea. But again, they just reiterated that love holds the key to solving all of life's problems. Put it to the test. So that's what they've been imploring me to do here the last several weeks. All right. So that brings us up to August 17th. August 17th, so just about a week ago here. Melchizedek comes in and says, okay, Shawna, you have a new schedule. We are feeling, they said there's a lot to do in a little amount of time. We're feeling some urgency. We want you to share that urgency with us. I have my new schedule here that they gave me, and I want to just go through this very quickly so you know, and if you want to adopt this schedule for yourself. They want me on a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed around the same time, awakening around the same time. Very first thing to do is rigorous exercise for about an hour or more. Excuse me. So I've been doing this. I mean, really giving it a good go. And this is, they're saying, we want you to do this every day. All right. Then eat a really hearty breakfast, really lots of protein, vegetables, eggs. You know, I've been trying to do this vegan thing. I eat eggs on occasion. I'm terrible about cheese. I eat way too much, but basically like high protein, a really high protein, hearty breakfast. Do that. Then sit down to meditate and to work with Melchizedek or whomever I'm going to be working with, but take that time after breakfast for a nice long meditation. Then I've got some free time to take care of personal business. And then they want me resting This turns out to be around mid to late afternoon, taking some time resting, napping if I feel like I need to. Then after that, eat a light dinner, vegetables and fruits and nuts. Vegetables, fruits, and nuts for dinner. My dinner's been coming around 5:30 or 6 or so. They want a light dinner. And then after dinner, ask to enter into the Halls of Amenti. And then after that process is done, I've got some free time and then it's bedtime. So this is my new schedule. And, preparing for making this video for you all, I listened to a lot of these old channelings again, and so many times they're like, Shawna, can you please focus with us and do this every day? And it's just had so much going on that I have not been doing that. So now in the last week, I've really buckled down and I am really trying to stick to this schedule. All right, so that was August 17th. So August 18th, around this time last week, I was wrapping up my second go through of Kryon's 3 first books. All right, maybe they're the only books. It's Lee Carroll, Kryon's book 1, 2, and 3. So on August 18th, I sit down to work with Melchizedek after my big hearty breakfast, and I hear, greetings, it is Kryon of Magnetic Service. And I'm just like, okay, I just listened to this audiobook. So I'm not sure that, am I hearing this right or am I making this up? So I kind of pushed it aside, said some affirmations about being a clear and concise channel. And then he's like, no, really, it is Kryon of Magnetic Service at your service, Shawna. I'm delighted to speak with you. Can we work together? So, oh my gosh. So how cool is this? So I have since had 6 sessions with Kryon directly, and the Kryon has been working on my magnetic field, balancing me out. I have been really tired with all the exercise and the eating and working in the Halls of Amenti and working with Kryon this last week. I'm really trying to take it easy. I'm napping a lot. I am taking it easy. I'm not trying to be overly productive with my days. I call him a he, but it's probably a they. It's neither. It's no gender, right? And if you've read or listened to any of these Kryon books, you'll know that this entity is full of love. So much love coming from this entity. It's so beautiful. I'm beyond words here, working with Kryon directly. Okay, and guess what Kryon's been talking about? The enormity of my mission and what I've chosen, the enormity of it. The dark times that are coming, the dark times ahead, being ready for this. And that being in the Halls of Amenti are going to help me. I need to spend more time in the halls, are going to help me understand my mission better and kind of what I'm doing here. Why am I here on the planet at this time doing what I'm doing? He's calling these things magnetic adjustments in the balancing of my vessel. Just wonderful, just incredible. So I'm working with Kryon. He'll do, and Melchizedek has done this as well, 15 to 20, maybe 30 minutes of energy work on me after I kind of have an exchange with them. So a lot of working on my energy field. And we've started to talk more about the collective and working with the collective. But, what I really wanted to talk about were, this idea of these dark times that are coming. And I've asked my team over the last few days, can I make a video about this? Can I talk to the community about, to the Army of Light about, what they're saying, even though I don't have a lot of information. And I don't like to kind of do the doom and gloom thing, if it comes through naturally through channeling, fine, but I'm not one to really kind of hone in on this negative stuff, but it's just been such a theme. So actually, Melchizedek came in yesterday and said, we are inching closer and closer to the foretold dark times, and we will be ready. So I I've done a little bit of research, and I don't know if these are new dark times, if there's going to be a new big event that's going to happen, but there are several channels that are talking about these things right now. Paul Selig being one of them, Robbie McKenzie with Metatron kind of hinting at this thing again. They are imploring us not to get wrapped up into the rhetoric, into the chaos, into the fear drama. This is all about perception and about keeping the fear vibration as high as possible. We as light workers, this team assembled here beyond the veil, we are ready. We will be ready, they say. Okay? No fretting, no worrying. They said to me, continue to be focused in the way that we've asked you. You know, and I'm kind of watching the headlines a little bit. I'm not watching the news really, but I'm kind of trying to see what's going on here without getting sucked into all that. They said yesterday that my mission will be kicking into a higher gear. Things will speed up and become more traumatic and explosive. And they're going to keep me informed as much as they are able to about what's coming in the role that I'm playing. So that's kind of where I'm at. They said, feel free to share with our community. And I said to Melchizedek, is there anything specific I can give? It's so, you know, kind of conceptual right now. Is there anything specific? And here's what they said. They said, know that those who have chosen this particular path will see clearly what is going on and will be able to rise above it. That you won't be subjected to it. You won't be sucked into this stuff. You're going to see it for what it is. This fear-based drama, you're not going to be buying into this, okay? There will be true discernment for those who have chosen this path, and you're going to know it. Our ability to raise and we're going to have this ability to raise our torches really high. And again, they said this stuff cannot be extinguished. Like this is just by the nature of who and what we are, this is going to be shining. And they said this will be the first of many opportunities to shine our light in the darkness, as many have already been doing. And they said, what does this mean to shine your light? The crux of it is fearlessness, of knowing that what is going on here, it is purposeful, it is meant to be, it is meaningful, and it will be helping to move this entire realm of existence forward in evolution. They said that it is an exposure of what has been hidden for very long, and it's a good thing that this stuff will come to the surface. Finally, these things are going to be exposed for what they are, coming to the surface. It's going to be painful to see these things, but know that this is all exactly what needs to be happening at the right time, the right place, and the right way. So just have confidence in that. They said this will be liberating to the planet, even though it doesn't feel this way. And they said that you must get through the dark tunnel to reach the light. And they said, and we are the light. Very cool. All right. So also in the last couple of days, I reached out to the Galactic Federation of Light. I've been reaching out to them like, hello. And they've been really, really quiet. But as you can see, I've been really busy with this other stuff here. They said, also just reiterated that I have reached a turning point in my mission, and that they are also gearing up for what is coming. And this is again why I wanted to make a video to talk about this, so you have some warning if you haven't already been feeling it. So this is what they're focusing on now, readying for this. That they will be likely making more videos, just not at the moment, just to have my antenna up for when that might happen. Yeah. So that's a lot, guys. It's been really, really great for me to be able to talk about this and to share all this with you, to give you a clue what's going on, kind of more on a collective level. The GFL had talked about May, June, and July being really high vibe. We're into August now. Things are shifting. So let's continue to support each other. Let's continue to love each other. Remember that, you know, we're not going backwards here. We've already won. The light's already won. We just have to go through the motions now. So my guides have been saying this for years. They've been saying this for years. So maintain your hope and your faith and your surrender to this process. Allow yourself to be open to love, that vulnerability. Be confident in your ability to love. Be confident in your light, even when those around you are struggling. You know, we are we are here for a reason, and what we're doing is important. All right. You've heard that before. Okay, my friends, so much love for you, so much love and honoring for each and every one of you. I love you dearly. Keep in touch. Let me know how you're doing. Mwah.